So Mr. Race Oil here, and you might have a question about dirty engine oil and what does dirty engine oil do to your racing engine? It's really the contaminants that are in the dirty engine oil that can cause problems with your racing engine. So what are we talking about? What are these contaminants that are in your dirty engine oil? It's fuel from blow-by, it could be moisture, water, and where does water come from? It's in the humidity in the air. It's also a byproduct of combustion. People wonder, where does the water come from? That's where it comes from. It's also dirt. Do you run on a dirt track? Or are you in an area where there's a lot of dirt in the air? So you can get dirt into the engine. And one of the other problems that we could see occasionally is coolant getting into the engine oil. If you're not running straight water, if you're running coolant in your cooling system and you have a leak, that can also get into the engine oil. So those are the main contaminants we really need to be concerned about. And the thing is, what are these contaminants really doing to the engine oil? Well, they are problems, and the first is fuel. What does fuel do to your engine oil? It can actually dilute your engine oil, lower its viscosity, and that can have an impact on protection in your bearings and your piston skirts. What about water? What's the problem with water? Well, water, if it gets down into the sump and sits there, it can actually cause deposit formation known as sludge over time. And what about dirt? What's the problem with dirt? Well, dirt is very abrasive. It's like having sandpaper in your engine oil. You definitely want to get that out of there. What about coolant? What's the deal with coolant? Well, believe it or not, coolant is an extremely aggressive species when it comes to making deposits, and it can happen very, very quickly with coolant. So if you have a coolant leak, you really need to know about it because it can cause deposit formation in your engine, and it can happen really, really quickly. So what do we want to do? We want to make sure that we keep an eye on your engine oil, make sure that we're keeping these contaminants out. And what's the best way to do that? Change your oil often to keep these contaminants out. Flush those contaminants out with an oil change.